Welcome to another Hero Arts video. Today I'm going to show you how to make this shabby looking rose card with these new cling stamps from Hero Arts. The antique brocade background and the take time to cherish the special moments set. Okay, so to get started, we're going to take this antique brocade cling stamp and place it on an acrylic block. You just stick it right on there and then it's all ready to stamp. And then we're going to ink it with Shabby Chic's Distress ink, and it's just going to go all over the stamp. Then I'm going to use the tea dye Distress ink and just add a little bit, just like here and there, just to give it even more of a shabby look. Then I'm going to take a water mist bottle. This is filled with just plain water, and then lightly mist the stamp to blend the colors. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp it on cream cardstock. And there you have it, a shabby background. I'm going to set this aside to dry. Next, we're going to use the rose stamp from the Cling Special Moment set and the Shabby Chic again. And we're just going to create a background on this lime note card. So we'll go ahead and ink the rose. And since it's clear, you can easily position it to make a background. So we'll just keep inking and stamping all the way around. Okay, so now that's done, and next we're going to distress the edges using a Tim Holtz distress tool and the tea dye ink. And all you do is just take, this is just a piece of felt on here, and just pick up some of the brown, for this is the tea dye again, and we're just going to rub it along the corners just to give it a little more shabby look. And you don't have to be precise or anything because, once again, this is supposed to be distressed and shabby looking. Okay, so that looks good. And the last thing that I'm going to do to the card background is kind of optional, but I think it adds a really nice touch. And that is to take a Prismacolor cream pencil. You can use any pencil that has like a nice thick soft lead, and I'm just going to go along the leaves and the flowers and trace these edges. You only have to do the ones that aren't going to be covered up by the background that we stamped earlier, but this just adds like a little touch. The next step is to go ahead and stamp the rose again on white cardstock using Memento ink, and for the sake of time I just went ahead and did this already. And then we're going to color it with Copic markers. I'll have the list of all of the marker colors on the Hero Arts website, so you can check that for all the colors. The first thing we're going to do is color the whole rose in with this light prawn. And you just color in the whole thing. Okay, now that that's done, I'll show you a little trick, and we're going to take a colorless blender, and this is actually used to push color out of the way. So we're going to push some color out of the way to create some lighter areas where there are highlights. So I'm just going to go in here, and wherever I want it to be lighter, I'll go ahead and add some of the colorless blender. And it creates like a really neat look, and you can just play with this until you get it how you like it. But this will start adding a little shading to the rose. Okay, next we're going to take a darker red color, this is Prawn, and we're going to add to the darker areas to make them stand out even more. And I'll have to go ahead and do the center part of the flower too. And then since we want this to be shabby, I'm going to add in a little bit of brown. So this is just a light brown, and I'm going right over top of where I added that darker red. It just makes it look a little shabby instead of just being all pristine red. Then I'm going to take my light color again and go over this to blend it. Okay, so that's done, and the next step would be to cut the rose out. So here's another one that I did, and I went ahead and cut it out, and I'll hold it up here a little bit more so that you can see all of the shading. The brown really gives it a shabbier kind of look. Okay, so the next step is to go ahead and stamp the rose again with the Memento Brown on the antique brocade background that we created earlier. And then go ahead and color, you can color right on the background with 2 shades of green to color in the leaves. Okay, next to finish the card up, you're going to distress the edges of this background piece with a paper edge distresser. This one is by Tim Holtz, or you can use the edge of your scissors just by opening them up and doing it like this. Just be a little careful if you do use the scissors. Then we're going to tie a bow. I thought this time I would show you how to tie the bow on here. I love this ribbon, it's so pretty. It has like a little bit of sparkle in it. So you just, this is how I tie a bow, and I'll try to put it here so that you can see. I just make one tie, like you're starting to tie your shoelace, and then I go ahead and make my knot, and then pull it so I get it tight. And then I just trim the ends. And I like it to be a little shorter so it doesn't take up too much room, and then you can slide it wherever you want it. Okay, so here's the finished card front, and now to finish up the inside, I'm going to go ahead and use the Take Time to Cherish the Special Moments message that came with the rose and stamp it right on the inside. So once again, I'll just place the stamp on the block. And then since this is a cling stamp, it makes it really easy to see where you're stamping. So I'll go ahead and ink this up. And then I can position it where I want. And I'm all done. And if I wanted to, I could go ahead and stamp the rose again along here too and color that. Then for the final touch, I decided to go ahead and add some pearls to the card just to give it that little extra something. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and thanks for watching.